it can be a very comical story, if you will, if you think about all the twists and turns. But we have the younger brother, and he's hired himself out to one of the citizens of the country because he's lost everything. Now he needs some more money. He's getting hungry. He's having to feed pigs, which, if you know anything about Jewish culture or Jewish history or Jewish customs, he shouldn't have been doing that because the pigs were unclean and the Jewish folks wouldn't have anything to do. I mean, when they were hearing the story, they probably would have been laughing at Jesus, saying, "You're making the story up, aren't you? Because no good Jewish boy is going to get down and feed the pigs." And he's so hungry, he's thinking, this looks like pretty good food. And then he starts thinking about his dad and how his dad had these hired servants and how they always had plenty to eat. He starts thinking about his own life, and so he comes to himself, is the way that our version has it. He comes to his senses, is the way some versions have it. Maybe a light bulb goes on, and a lot of folks tend to think that this is a turning point in the story where the younger brother realizes what he's done, how he's messed up, and he's going to go back and make it right with his dad, and he's going to ask for forgiveness, and it's just this really great, story about going off and getting, messed up and realizing you need help and going back and getting your life together. But the actual verses here aren't really about turning your life around. It's about having an idea, just having an idea. And we're not really for sure if it's a good idea or a bad idea. He just has an idea. I don't know if you've ever gotten into trouble and you have to kind of prepare a speech, right? You've done something, you got to go to your boss, right? And you're like, you don't just walk in and say, "I messed up." You think about it, don't you? You rehearse what you're going to say. Here I can just picture him. Let me think, how can I say this? Father. Wasn't that amazing? His dad was dead to him. And I was going to call him Father. This very intimate, title. You've been dead to me, but Father. I've sinned against God. That sounds good, right? We'll begin with God, That would really impress the old man, and I'll just admit that I've messed up, and I've sinned against God and against you. Let's get right to the point there. I have messed up, Dad. And Father, how does he say it? He says, let me look this up real quick. I've sinned against heaven before you. I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. Oh, that sounds really honest, right? I mean, he's turning around, isn't he? He's sincere, isn't he? He wants to make it right, doesn't he? Then he says something. He says, "Treat me like one of your hired servants." Now that might sound good. I mean, that might sound like, well, he wants to work his way back up. He's going to start at the bottom. This is great stuff. This is a great story. Let's encourage people who've messed up to come back and ask for forgiveness. But how were the servants being treated? Do what? Do they have enough to eat? Isn't that the whole point? I mean, can you just imagine I'm picturing it like this. I've done this. I've been in my car before, right, to give a speech to somebody. So I start rehearsing it out loud. You ever do that? You look over at the person next to you, they look at you like you're crazy, and you're, talking to them. I can just picture this, Father, oh man, that's great stuff. He's writing it. Have you ever written anything down? Also, written notes, going into your body. You want your notes, right? I have sinned against God, against heaven, and against you. This is good stuff, We all need this, right? I am no longer worthy to be called your son, your daughter, whatever it is, your child. I mean, this is being honest, right? Treat me like one of your hired servants. Well, he wants to eat, right? So I can just picture him rehearsing this. He's walking back and forth, and he's scratching out words, and he's thinking about this, and but his dad is watching for him. His dad sees him as he comes. Now, in that culture, his dad should have been sitting down, and the son should have come to him, and in all honesty, the son should have fallen on his face and begged for forgiveness. That isn't what happens in the story, though. The father, it's like he hikes up, whatever it is he's wearing, and he runs to his son. This is embarrassing. A Jewish father would not do this. He would not be, you just wouldn't do that. And so he sees his son coming, he runs to him, and he starts kissing him, And it's like this shock. It's a complete shock. Now, have you ever had to give a speech? And so he's written this speech, by golly. He wants to give this speech. Does he need to give a speech at this point? But he's written that speech. It's a good speech. So he starts it. Father, I have sinned against you. I don't think the dad's even listening to him. I think the dad's going out to the servants. Bring that guy to Tab. Wait, Tab. I got to give you my speech here. I have sinned. I've blown it with God. Bring the best robe. Dad, I have messed up. Please, I need your forgiveness. We're going to have a party. Bring the ring. And then, does he give the speech? Did you catch him in the speech? Does he give the speech? Who has their scripture? Larry, did he give the speech?
He did.
Did he?
Then the son said to him,
Now wait, you're the lawyer. Did he give the speech?
He did give the speech.
All right, read it for us.
Then the son said to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.
I thought there was more to the speech.
No. That's it.
Yeah, I have the notes right here.
But the father said to his slaves, quickly bring out a robe.
No, what was the speech? What speech did he rehearse?
Oh, he left off the part about treating rings.
How convenient was that?
Yeah, because he saw the robe coming in the ring.
Exactly.
So,
How convenient was that?
so he was snide to the end.
He didn't have to say, treat me like one of your hired servants. He got off the hook, didn't he? And it's almost as if the waiter comes by with that tray, and he takes a glass, and he sees the girls in there dancing, and he grabs one, and the party starts.